Then he said, okay, sure, you can drive the Bentley, but just be careful. Sure. I was pulling the Bentley out when he said, so who's driving the 911? And I suddenly just stopped. And everyone is confused, like, what do you mean by who's driving the 911? You are driving the 911. I was like, no, he's not going with us. That was what he said. I'm not going with you guys, so take the cars, have fun. And I took off in the 911.
1, 2, go!
Hi, I'm your favorite car host again, St. James.
Alright, so what's your favorite car brand?
It's hard to tell which one is my favorite, but let me say my three favorites, at least three favorites. So number one is the BMW. This is in no order. Number one is the BMW, Porsche. That's what people don't understand, but the Rolls Royce. It's technically a BMW as well, but yeah, the Rolls Royce.
What's the furthest place you've ever been?
My furthest trip I've driven, I think, is Accra to Accra. Yeah. Driving myself Accra to Accra.
Drifting or drag race?
Drifting or drag race? Drag race.
Manual or automatic?
Automatic.
All-wheel drive
All-wheel drive.
Toyota or Nissan?
Toyota.
Opel or Volvo?
Volvo.
Lexus or Nissan?
Lexus. They make the LFA.
Cybertruck.
The second one. Not the Cybertruck, the second one. Why did you ask this Cybertruck constructor? You know I hate the Teslas. You know I hate Teslas.
Stop it. Get some help.
So everyone knows me. I'm a big BMW fanboy. I say it online. I say it everywhere. I love BMW. I respect Porsche. So I think everyone knows this. I'm basically Team F90. I get information from both camps in some ways, but I'm more of Team F90. So I got to meet the Team F90 team. I think when the car came, I think that was in 2019, at the first launch control at Labadi. So I met the owner. We spoke, and then I followed their Instagram page, met Papi, met a few other people, and then it took off from there. But how I got to talking with them was they ran a competition on Instagram where they bought a new car part, and they posted just a sneak peek, and you had to mention what parts you thought it was for a prize. And I think it was a tail light, and I just sent a message, oh, that's a tail light. In the evening, I'm there, I get a message from a notification from Instagram saying, I've been tagged in the post. I go check. Our winners of the competition are, my Instagram handle is _I_Ruru, and one other guy, I don't remember the name. So I DM him and I'm like, oh, I think I've won. He was like, yeah, you won. And then that's how we started talking. I think my prize was, at that time, I think it was in early 2020 or late 2019, thereabout, was 300 cedis for coupon, which was a lot for my Kia at that time. It was a lot. So yeah. So subsequently started talking with them. I told him I was also a car enthusiast. We met up a few other times in Mexico, and it built up from there. So when he was building the car, he was about to take me for a ride one night, and I was like, no, I would rather wait for the complete project because it being stock. Because he told me what he planned. I was like, I would rather experience it after the build. So we kept talking. We kept talking during the years. I knew what he was doing at which time. In the run up to the first launch control where he came and dominated. Then in 2021, he couldn't make it for launch control. Then we met again in 2022, and we all know the outcome of that. Yeah, so that was the car on its last build. I think he's still doing more work to it now, but then on that build, that's when I got to experience it one night when he took me in the car. We launched the car, bro. It was wonderful. was wonderful. It was wonderful because I got to experience all the work he had done, like apart from stock, because I sat in a stock one and I sat in his and I realized the day and night's difference. So it was wonderful. Big shout out to One Stubborn F90. Big shout out to Puppy F90. It was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. Really, really wonderful time. I got to drive, I think, my dream car brand. That's the Porsche. And I got to drive the Porsche 911 Turbo S. It's a very funny story because my whole week in the run up to that Sunday, it was on Sunday. My whole week in the run up to that Sunday was quite bad. I was having a bit of issues at work and whatnot. And the day before, that was a Saturday, I went for a funeral. I got beaten by the rain, so my phone just died on me. The Saturday, actually, we had a friend from Germany, Peter, who was in Ghana, and we had a shoot with Shaibu, the biker, Hemana. So when we were about to depart, he was like, "Oh, I have a shoot with Chris the next day. Do you want to come along?" I was like, "Okay, sure, why not?" So Sunday morning, he calls me, and he's like, I think Lester O3 was also coming along on the shoot, and Lester was coming in his pickup. And I'm a big automatic fanboy. I do not drive manual. I'm sorry, but I'll say this: I do not drive manual. So Peter is shooting, Lester is shooting. The plan was that I would drive whilst they shoot the cars. And I was like, okay, let me call another friend, Daniel Luge of Vina Autos Ghana. So he comes along, then he drives the pickup, and I sort of conduct the shoot. So that's how we came. And Luge also came with one more friend, and we set off on Sunday from Legon campus to Chris's place, Auto Checker's place. And yeah, so when we got there, we met him, had a nice conversation. He took us on a tour of his house, showed us his cars. I think that day there was a 911, there was the Bentley Continental GT, there was the older Porsche Cayenne, and then there was an Audi S7. Yeah, A7 S line or S7, one of them. And he had two bikes as well. So he took us on a tour of his house, showed us the cars. Then he asked us, which ones do we want to shoot? And we're like, oh, any one at all, he would give us to shoot. So he said, okay, he has the Bentley and the 911, so we could take both. So he pulled them out because he has a garage. So he put it out of the garage, and we're taking still shots, a few drone shots here and there. Then we're ready to set off to go on the road. So just before we set off, he was like, "Are we going to shoot both cars?" And we're like, "Sure, yeah, we will do that." Then I asked him if I could drive the Bentley, because all along I was thinking he's going to drive the 911 because I don't want issues. Let me drive the Bentley. Then he said, "Okay, sure, you can drive the Bentley, but just be careful." Sure. I was pulling the Bentley out when he said, "So who's driving the 911?" And I suddenly just stopped. And everyone is confused, like, "What do you mean by who's driving the 911? You are driving the 911." I was like, "No, he's not going with us." That was what he said. "I'm not going with you guys, so take the cars, have fun."
Oh my God! Wow!
And the funniest thing happened. Lester, holding his camera, quickly passed his camera on to my friend Daniel Luge and jumped into the 911.
Yo, what's going on, my brethren? What's going on, my brethren?
Immediately. And now Daniel is also going to record. So Luge's friend also drives a manual. So he hopped into the pickup and we set off. And it was quite surreal because why is somebody just giving us his Bentley and his 911 to go have fun with? So what we decided to do was, okay, let's shoot all the content we needed. Then we have fun with the cars because he said we could have a bit of fun with it. So we took turns driving the cars, taking all the shots. Peter drove, Lester took his shots, drone shots, everything. I think the shots are on their Instagram at Peter Lutich and at Lester_03. I think that's it. And it's a link up as well on our Instagram, so you can check that out. So after taking the shots, then we stop at one place and we're like, okay, guys, it's time to have fun because now we all want to enjoy the cars.
A very big thank you to Chris, also known as Auto Checker, from Auto Jewelling, Ghana's #1 vehicle paintwork correction and paint restoration expert, for making this amazing experience possible and also supporting our channel. So guys, patronize this business, follow all his pages at Auto Checker, Auto Jewelling, and his car page too. substantial. You can also support the channel by patronizing our limited edition Porsche 911 Turbo STs. Send me a DM on Instagram if you want one. Now, let's get back to the video.
Then I got to drive. Because when we were taking the shots in the beginning, I was in the Bentley the entire time. Then now I got to sit in the 911. And I had this smile. I think it was even broader than this smile I have on right now. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time. Wonderful time, wonderful time. I put the car in manual, upshifting, downshifting. There's a video where I was beside Lester. Lester was driving the Bentley at that time. And he did a countdown, and I took off in the 911.
1, 2, go!
And bro, wonderful, wonderful time. There's a slight bend, and because I knew it was all-wheel drive, so I decided to enter the bend at speed, and the car was firmly planted. No issues whatsoever, because the car is just easy to drive, seamless, power on demand. You kick down, you hear the turbo spool, it takes off. Bro, it was a wonderful, wonderful time. Wonderful time. Had fun. I think I did like 4 or 5 laps in the car, because I don't know when else I'm going to get to drive in 911, so let me as well have all the fun right now. And I did the same in the Bentley as well. The difference is the Bentley is fast as well because it's tuned by MTM, but because of its weight, you do not feel all the power. You feel enough power, but in the 911, it's like raw power because the car is perfectly aerodynamic. It's quite planted on the ground as well, and it's just wonderful. It was later we found that the car also has all-wheel steering, I think he said, apart from it being all-wheel drive. So, yeah, that was one of the best days, making my last year, because it was getting to the latter part of the year. It was really wonderful. And big shout out to Chris, Auto Checker, because I still can't believe this, because who would just give up his 911 to a bunch of young guys who are car enthusiasts? But he said he likes to let people to enjoy cars because when he was younger, he didn't get the chance to experience them as much. He just got the chance to see them. So now he owns them. He gives as many opportunities to people as possible. We love that. We love that.